Scrims, thank you so
Meta
much for
change.
joining us. And that's all for us for now.
Yeah, the
On
meta
this
change.
side
I mean,
of the stage, we'll be
anything
right
I
back
say
in
will
a
sound
few
like an
minutes to get
excuse,
into.
and anything I say will probably just be twisted anyway. So that's why I'm not saying anything, because I want to make sure that if I say anything, that I'll have at least 20 minutes to talk about it. Because the internet is just complete mental illness the last 2 weeks. Like, it's completely like traumatic brain inducing. So everyone's sticking away from it. We're just here to try our best, have fun, enjoy it, remember it when we're older. On your question about meta, definitely, like I said, it'll probably sound like an excuse. But meta change did hurt a little bit to us, I think, as a team. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that hurt us, but the old meta, I think Atakan brought a lot of risk in the game, which helped us a lot. If early game doesn't pan out well, then the risk factor helps you. Like, comebacks were more frequent, but also swapping was possible. So, like, we could just base level 3 and do a coordinated swap, and, like, if we get counterpicked top, we can stop that matchup from bleeding. But now you can't. Now you just have to sit there in your cage and you're locked. So I would say that aspect of the meta change did hurt a little bit. Yeah, on your question. But meta changes every 2 months, so that's life. Have to get better. How have Scrims been? Scrims have been pretty good, I would say. I think a lot of people would be like relatively surprised by our results against certain teams. But I think Scrims have a lot of like... The problem with Scrims is there's too much... I don't know what the word is. There's so much randomness, you know? And that randomness makes you think that your conclusions are okay. And then when you get into a game where there's no randomness and it plays out, you realize that those 10 games that you played are actually completely irrelevant. So... Not that I don't think we're stomping Scrims. I would say that they're like pretty decent. Yeah, there's so much variance in Scrims that when you get on stage, that variance disappears and all of a sudden you're like, the curtains drop. And nothing's happening. And that kind of realize that you're slowly bleeding now, you know? I think that's one of the takeaways for sure. There's no problems. No one's going to get replaced. No. We're going to play our LEC split because when this started, it was... Can we make a team of 5 homies? And how far can the homies go? And we're going to find out how far the homies can go. And whatever we finish in LEC Winter is as far as the homies got. But we'll try our best. Na'Vi is pretty good. I think top teams in the LEC right now are GX, Na'Vi, Koi, Fnatic, KC. Those are probably the top teams. I think Vitality is like scraping in there. I think Shift, SK I'm not sold on. Shifters, Heretics are kind of KC Blue, I think are... Actually, Fnatic is not a top team, what am I saying? I don't think Fnatic's top 3, top 4. I think they're probably middle of the pack. Don't look Twitter.
Game, he's gonna retire. That's what he's practically said.
I feel like we should turn Twitter into a vacuum.
That's a lot of pressure. But, you know
because
what,
Twitter is like full of...
Yeah.
In recent years, Twitter is just full of like... In the esports scene, it's full of just fucking piss. So I think if we all like collectively agree to leave, then they can just piss on themselves, you know? I feel like that should be a thing. Turn it into like... Just fucking... Isolate it. Isolate that platform. Can LR still make the playoffs? Well... I would say we need 4 wins and we've got 7 games left. So it's going to be tricky. We're going to have to win against Heretics. We're going to have to win against Shifters. I think those 2 games we can win. If we lose those, it's going to be very difficult. Because next week we play Koi, G2, Na'Vi, which should be our hardest week. So if we go into that week with 0 wins, it's going to be tricky. But if we can get a win against Heretics and Shifters and go with 2 wins into next weekend, and we can at least get 1 win out of those 3 best of ones, we have a really good chance. So tomorrow and Monday are pretty important for us.
You're right. Most teams pick either first pick or you're right. That's how it works. I think all teams
They're pretty important.
Either first pick or second pick.
You can, with the right of selection, you could also choose which.
Because I really think, I really think we can beat Heretics and Shifters. I really think we can.
No, have they never done that?
We have a chance.
It's hard to say.
If we can beat those two teams,
100%
sneak a win
certain.
against
There's
either
no
either
strategy.
Koi
There's
G2 or
no pick,
Na'Vi,
just red side. There's
and then
no
beat
strategical
Vitality,
advantage.
we're in.
Yes, if
Yes.
there's a coach
think.
that thinks
I don't know the
we
math
should
with
draft,
12
we need
teams,
to go
though.
on blue side or red side, then
Or
the
SK.
coach
It would be
should
Na'Vi or
probably-
SK that we have to win against. Just one of the two.
Strong words coming
Whoa.
into this.
Whoa.
And then if we make it to playoffs,
Okay, hot takes.
we got double a limb.
Nobody cares about
and
red or
we need to
blue
start
side. We
cooking.
care about the picks. We care about the draft.
We need to open up
And,
the
looking
fucking
into that,
oven
let's jump
and
right
let
into our
Sally
draft.
put on
Kick
his
off with this.
favorite dishes.